Welcome everyone, we are back. This is Team Fortress TV for another brand new season of ETF2L. This is season 33, and before we jump right into the main season, we have some tasty qualifiers for you guys to decide who is gonna go into the field the last spots into Prem. Right now we have 6 teams, and there are 2 spots for 3 other teams competing right now, and this is gonna be the first game of 2 qualifier games. I am Ombrack. Peter is gonna do all the tasty camera work for you guys tonight, and I'm joined by some newcomer. Mac is with me. Hi, Mac.
Hello, guys. Happy to be here.
Nice. Yeah, it's I'm quite glad we can see those games. It's not quite the main season yet, but still kind of build up the momentum, build up the hype, and what's more to ask than a qualifier game like that. So we have on one side CHILLWAGON, and on the other side we have. I'm probably the only caster who can say the name properly without stuttering and with the actual proper pronunciation. So I'll just show up for a bit. And this is the French team called Genaration Karnax. They will be your 2 contenders tonight. And just before we jump into anything, Mac, what is your first thoughts about these 2 teams?
Obviously, I played against the Frenchies last season, and I don't know. Their roster is basically unchanged, but for this first game, they're going into it with a Merc and Olga swapped to a different class. So I'm not sure how that's going to turn out for them.
You mentioned the roster. Let's just jump right into the thick of it. Pitch the French team. Tell us who is playing tonight for them.
Sure. I guess I'll run through the Frenchies then, because I talked about them first.
Yeah.
Frenchies will be playing with Nevo and Karnax on Scout, the namesake of his team. Olga and Duo on Soldiers, Alien Smiley on Demo, and Mula on Med.
So you said this is pretty much the roster they played with last season. The only addition tonight is you mentioned Nevo merking for Raf, and so leading to a little switcheroo in the classes for tonight. We'll see how much that can hinder them. We'll see how that goes. But about the CHILLWAGON roster, we have Torre. I don't know. Should I say infamous, notorious, or famous? I don't know. Pick whatever words you think is better suited for Torre, but he's playing medic for this team. This is pretty much his team. He built it. The demo man is gonna be garbage. We're probably gonna call him Joe at some point, but this is the same person. Soldiers are warped. I think he's playing Roamer. The pocket is gonna be Wonsu, and the 2 regular scouts is the American Moo, and the other scout is I'm blanking right now.
Hempus
is playing Scout, but Moo is not going to play tonight, and it's going to be Sorex merking for CHILLWAGON. So quite of a bit of an upgrade, wouldn't you say, Mac?
Isn't Moo quite a decent player though in America? Like
yeah, but I mean to European eyes, we would think that Sorex is an upgrade.
True.
But yeah, you mentioned Moo is playing in
like mid
top level,
mid invite, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And she came like 3rd last season, if I'm not remembering wrong. She played with Paddy on like some team a season or 2 ago.
I'm not really well versed into American TF2, unfortunately. But
neither am I.
I'll just follow your words and believe them to be true. So we have the rosters, and what I like about the game we have tonight is, like, on one hand we have some kind of elite French force team. I think everyone likes when one team is fully composed of one country. It's like some sort of national team or something. And on the other hand, we have Torrid's team with some sort of Frankenstein creature with like people grabbed from all around Europe and
American imports.
Yeah, across Atlantic. So it's quite a shock of playstyle and identities in those 2 teams. What do you like? Would you like the full French team, full one country, or the picked or all around Europe kind of thing?
I don't know. I kind of want to root for the Frenchies. I don't know. Something I'm more familiar with them. I like Turret, love Onesie, but I don't know. Something about my familiarity with the Frenchies. I want to see them win.
Yeah, they've kind of been around for a long time now.
At least 3-4 seasons now.
At least, yeah. I think Olga and Alien and Raph have been playing forever for a really long time. Even though I think Raph had a stint in a European Prem team at some point with a former Omni 5, I believe. But apart from
I think he had Olga with him on that as well. In all fairness.
probably, yeah. Oh, and Velocity. That was Velocity, I think.
Yeah, with News and blanking on the other 3 players.
Irrelevant for tonight. Doesn't matter. Last piece of details: the maps tonight they've been announced. It's gonna be Snake. Well, I've lost it already. I put it somewhere.
Gully Gran.
Thank you. That's why you're here, Mac. You're here to help me. Because I have a really bad brain and a really bad memory. But yeah, it should show up on the stream right now. But we haven't talked about something really important, Mac. The winner tonight is gonna go straight to Prem, so the stakes are quite high.
Yeah, no double elim. I guess for these guys it is double elim, but they don't need to win another game. They need to win one best of 3 set. Then they're in Prem. Simple as.
Yeah, the loser will have another shot against Goon Squad, which is the third team competing in those qualifiers. But the winner tonight is going to go straight to Prem, so we can believe these two teams are quite focused on that objective. And one thing that would give a small edge towards the Frenchies, I believe, is that they are more used to playing Prem or to have that kind of objective in mind, because they've all played Prem last season, whereas on Torrid's team, on CHILLWAGON, who has ever played Prem in them?
I think once you played 4 years ago, and Warped played it recently. I think it was like season 25, 26.
3 out of 6, right?
Yeah. I don't know what season that would have been.
Oh yeah, I was in it, but I'm not remembering. But yeah, like the experience is in favor of the Frenchies. Will that be? This is usually not enough in itself. You don't just win from sheer experience.
Sure.
But because I would say on DM, like on raw talent, I would say the CHILLWAGON has some slight edge. I don't know if you would agree with me.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. The CHILLWAGON team doesn't have Prem experience, but it does have quite a bit of top Div 1 experience, actually.
Top Div 1 so Torres has been playing around. He was playing in Prem last season for some
for 3 weeks.
Yak's team. Yeah, for 3 weeks. That's really accurate. And they have Sorax tonight, which can be such a trump card in those kind of games, because with Lego, he's been doing the Div 1 Prem Div 1 thing for a long time, so he knows what it takes to win those games, the really important games before the season starts, to go into Prem. So maybe that would be an important factor as well for them. As we are slowly gonna join the server, so let's do a little fantasy before we go any further. So who out of the 3 teams we have in the playoffs, Mike? Who do you think? Who are the 2 chosen ones?
It's going to be the 2 teams we're looking at tonight. I don't see Goon Squad. I mean, here's the thing. Goon Squad isn't that much worse than these 2 teams, and that's like with no BM intended towards either of these 2 teams. If anything, it just speaks to how surprisingly strong Goon Squad is. Oh, it is? Is it like laggy? Sorry.
So you would say these 2 teams? I don't know much about Goon Squad. I don't really know who they are, but how well they would fare against each other. What I would say is these 2 teams are also, I think, the one who are gonna make it to Prem. But I think the game tonight is gonna be somewhat close. I want to believe at least it's gonna be close. And we mentioned how Sorax could be a huge asset for CHILLWAGON, but the Frenchies, they have Nevo as well, who've been in Prem forever now with Aura Electro and another French team last season. So how much experience, how much impact can he have on that team as well? Because I know Sorax is quite of a silent, quiet player. He does his stuff on the flank. He kills people. He doesn't say anything. But at the end, you press tab and everybody's dead on the enemy team. So that's pretty good, obviously. But I feel like Nevo could have some kind of main calling ability. I know he's a vocal player, and the Frenchies are missing Raph tonight, who's their usual main caller. So maybe that could hurt to me, so main caller, of course. But at the same time, they maybe have someone to fill for Raf. So a lot of unknowns, and the start of the game will be quite telling to how these two teams are doing.
Yeah, hopefully Nevo can bring... Also, first of all, I hope my mic is fixed now. I'm not sure if it is or not. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. But yeah, like as you said, sorry to kind of reiterate, Nevo should hopefully be able to bridge the gap. It's rough playing without a main caller, but I imagine Olga probably does call a lot, judging from their playstyle. So maybe between Olga and Nevo, they'll be able to have something working.
Yeah, true. Olga is also. I think they're kind of sharing the main call. But Olga is going to switch class. He's not going to play Pocket Scout anymore. He's going to play Pocket Soldier. So all in all, he still plays with the combo, but doesn't feel the same role in that team. So yeah, the beginning of the game will be interesting to see how they want to play. And one thing about Olga also is that I'm going to use that word very carefully, is known. Whether you like it or not, it's up to you, chat. It's up to you, Mac. But he's known for doing a lot of classes. And he can't really do that on Pocket, can he?
I feel like if anything, it's more of a reason to do it. Perhaps not on Gully. Soldier's very important on that map. Especially now that Pyro is no longer crazy class, killing everything in one go with the post jungle Inferno nerf. But he was running Pyro on Gully Wash a lot back then. I don't see how he could possibly run it now, especially with the Detonator banned, Scorch Shot banned. You need Soldier on Gully Wash. Snake though, perhaps something interesting could come up.
Oh, interesting. That's the word. I don't know if I like it though. I don't know if I like the vibe of that, because I don't wanna cast mini sentries and heavies and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. This is 6. It's not Highlander. Olga, please bear with us and don't go too deep on the crazy shenanigans.
Show us some mercy.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be have mercy for Mac. This is his first cast. Make it something easy. Not a roll though. We don't want to see a roll, but we'll see how that goes. Other players to notice in your eyes, Mac? Any of the two teams who should we watch for?
I'm really interested in Warped actually. I think he played very well at Copenhagen LAN from what I've heard, and I played against him obviously as well. I think in some scrims and stuff, he surprised me a lot, LAN. I think he improved very quickly. So I want to see what sort of Roma plays he can pull off.
Yeah, I that wouldn't. He wasn't the one I had in mind, but maybe why not? He's gonna surprise us. The one I'm really interested in is Garbage Joe actually, because I don't really know that player, to be fair. I don't really know what he can do. Maybe you can tell us a bit about him. I don't know if you know him more than I do, but is there anything? If we don't know Garbage Joe, if the chat doesn't know him, how would you describe him?
So I'm fairly certain. So I talked to Torre a bit to ask about his team a bit, do some journalism. Joe is the main caller, right? Torre only calls pushes. The rest is all done by Joe. So anything good, anything bad done by the team, all credit goes to him and Torre, I guess. So that'll be really interesting to see. We can see by the flow of the match what the players are doing. You know, all credit goes to Joe for the main calls.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see then. If there's a crazy smart play, we'll know it's gonna be Joe and not Torrit, but okay, we'll keep that in mind. And if anything goes bad, we'll know who to blame. It's gonna be on Joe. We haven't talked also about the shining star of this game. He has a team named after him. This is Karnax. Why? What is the hype around Karnax? Did I miss anything?
This man is terrifying. He's capable of anything and everything. I'm sure others would agree. You know, I've talked to Eames a lot about him. A very scary man. Oh no, on the right there though, Karnax is a legend. You know, he does these left like from out of nowhere plays. You just don't expect them. Reminds me a lot of sometimes reminds me a lot of Yeehaw. You know.
Ooh, is that a praise?
Yeah, sometimes not. It reminds me a lot of when Yeehaw goes for these crazy flying scout plays. Though obviously I think Yeehaw's in Pocket Scout now. On Aura. But that's irrelevant. We're looking at these guys. The Prem calls.
So Karnax is a little Yeehaw then. Well, I hope you're not overselling him then, because we'll keep a really cautious eye on to Karnax then to see what he can do. Because the only thing I know about Karnax is that he plays NG on last, so I don't know if that's really saying of any type of gameplay or play style. We'll see that. But yeah, people are starting to not starting actually. They're finishing to join the server. Only one person missing. Quick recap: the win of this game is gonna make it to Prem tonight. So quite a big thing to win tonight. And they're gonna join, if my memory serves well, they're gonna join Seven, Ascent, Swift, Aura, Electro. A German team, which name is now an emoji, so I'm not gonna bother reading it, and Top 5 Rocket. So quite fancy names already, and I'm pretty sure both of these teams, they want to be part of that big playground that Prem is. Any prediction for the first map, Mac? How do you think it's gonna go?
I think Gully is a map all about the soldiers, so I think the strongest soldier combo is on CHILLWAGON. I think they can do more.
So the soldier being Wonzu and Warp, you believe they have so Wonzu plays Poke, Warp is playing Roamer, and you believe they're gonna overtake Duo and Olga?
Yeah. On top of that, demo is obviously very important on this map. I think the demos are more equal, but the soldiers will be the deciding factor on this map. Scouts, obviously. I think even you said earlier you agree that like the DM advantage on CHILLWAGON, especially with Sorex. So overall, the CHILLWAGON roster is looking better on this map. Snake will be a lot more even, I think.
Okay, and I don't know. So you said CHILLWAGON, so I think for the sake of competition, I have to say the Frenchies, but then people will say I'm biased because I'm French myself, so I feel like I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I don't really know who to root for, so I'm just gonna root for air shots, and hopefully we'll see that. And one thing that's interesting, I just thought about it right now, is that it feels like on the French team, everybody is kind of a multi-class talent. I feel like Alien can play 3 different classes at a really good level, same for Olga. So maybe they're gonna be some. They did some switcheroo during last season where Alien started as a scout, and then he played demo, and Raf changed as well, and Olga changed as well. So I feel if there's one team who can go for the really unexpected path, it's gonna be the Frenchies. And as I say that, Mac left. The Mumbles is gonna be back any second, but I guess I'll be on my own for a moment. I hope these 2 teams don't start because I don't want to do a solo cast. This is way too much to come back into casting for the start of the season. I think we have 11 players on the server. Hempus is making us wait on spec. I don't know.
I can keep you
what he's
company
doing.
until he gets back.
Hello, sorry, yeah, I know I'm having audio issues, so trying to fix it just before the game starts at least. Is it any better now? Oh.
Looks like we'll have to deal with it, and it's gonna be fine. It doesn't really. It's a bit late now to change it anyway, so we'll have to bear with it, and you'll have to listen to Mac switching from one of your ear to the other ear, like he's behind you, and it's like he's doing you a little cast at home.
ASMR.
So what's not to ask? That's the best situation you could ask for. And one team is being ready. It's the French team. This is how we'll call them, because I'm being merciful on you, chat, and I don't think you want to hear French words all the time when I'm casting the French team. So they're gonna be the French team now, or maybe Olga's team if I'm feeling like it. And it's gonna be them against CHILLWAGON. Again, this is upper sit round playoff, upper seed. Yeah, I don't really know what's the name for that, considering there's only 2 games. But yeah, this is the first game of the season 33 Prem qualifiers. The winner will go straight to Prem. The loser will have another shot later this week. It's going to be against Goon Squad. And we're waiting for these 2 teams. Max said that CHILLWAGON would take the first map. I think it's going to be a tie. And I think it's going to go to Golden Cap. So we can straight, right from the bat, experience the new Golden Cap rule. Because it's a new Golden Cap rule. This is not infinite time anymore. This is 15 minutes if we have a Golden Cap. So maybe we'll see that right from the first game of the season, because why not? I can't recall any meaningful changes in the in the whitelist or in anything? Is there anything worth mentioning before we start? Is there anything you can remember?
I think man threads is allowed now.
Is it
Also, I've
effective
been
right now
tinkering with my
tonight?
audio, so I'm not sure if it's fixed. It probably still isn't, is it?
Mac the Tinkerer.
Is it? I don't know. Sorry if it's still bad.
I don't know. I can hear you fine, so I guess I have. It doesn't hurt me.
Oh, bit of a fake ready up.
Yeah. What is so? It's 21:34. What? It's definitely a Prem game. We're late. People are faking ready up. So of course this is Prem. No need to do a qualifier. People, these two teams will make it to Prem at some point because they're late. And now we are going. This is CHILLWAGON against, I'll say it once, Genaration Karnax. This is the first mid. We'll see how that goes. And apparently they want a restart, so they really love to bait us, Mac. And I don't know if we can make it through the end of that night.
I'm not going to complain. I get more time to attempt to fix my mic.
But at this point, we're just waiting for them. We're waiting for them to play. And I remember casting a game from the Frenchies. I think it was a qualifier for Prem as well. And one of the golden caps lasted like an hour or something. So I really hope they don't go to that situation, because I don't think I can take it. I don't want to cast 3 hours of Olga playing Paro and Heavy and Engie. So they better ready up soonish. I don't really know what we're waiting for. One detail, the guy named GGGGGGG is Garbage Joe. So if you see that alias, if you see him in the kill feed, you know who that is. And we're finally starting for real. I can't believe it, Mac. This is happening. This is the first qualifier game for season 33 Premiership of ETF2L. This is the Frenchies against CHILLWAGON, and we're going straight to the first mid. I feel like Garbage is a little quicker than his counterpart, and both teams kind of looking for each other. The bomb coming from Olga, extremely aggressive, with Duo helping. They're already getting the demo and the scout. This is a really nice entry now, when Alien being extremely aggressive over the point, whopped on the flank, tried to make something happen, but it got cleaned up by the scout. It looks like this first mid is going to go straight into favor of the Frenchies. Alien claiming another frag onto Hampus, and now Turret is completely alone on Big Door Alien with another frag, and now it's only one. So can he do anything? There's no way he can get the med here. He has to get out. Going drop down. Can he do anything? There's no way. He surprises the French team. He jumps in, getting nice in Bermuda. What a positioning! What happened here?
Oh my lord. That was a really wacky mid in many regards. I saw CHILLWAGON sitting inside an elbow for almost the entire mid. They couldn't save their demo man, and they just stayed there, and they died for it slowly. Except one team managed to be the savior in the end, coming up pre-drop, getting 2 nice directs on Muller.
And he salvaged the situation completely, the Polish player, and now there's another fight onto that second point. A deep bomb from Olga. Wonzu is really weak, and the Frenchies don't look like they really want to commit. They're just looking here. They baited Olga a bit, and now they have to go back. Look like that fight could have been taken a bit more deep for the Frenchies, but in the end, CHILLWAGON will be able to conquest back their second point. It's going to be probably the first stalemate of the map. There's a small ad for Turret now, and look at the Frenchies. Look at how much respect they give CHILLWAGON right now, holding really far back. It's a 30 ad for Turret, and they're gonna look if they can make their way into choke, slowly walking through that choke. It looks like there's no one from the Frenchies who wants to commit for that, and CHILLWAGON, they're gonna take that for free.
They're continuing to move at from the looks of it. They're pressuring Big Dog, but they should know by now that the Ubers have evened out. Perhaps we'll see some sort of choke, sack with support and choke or Big Dog.
Yeah, this is a situation we see a lot, Mac, where the stalemate on that second point. What's your favorite way to break that stalemate?
So right now it looks like they're pressuring Big Door, and I think I saw Sorax. Yeah, Sorax is trying to creep in behind, but they have 2 players in lobby ready to take a 2v1 with him. That's a bit of a weird setup for the Frenchies, but I guess it's effective. Can't argue with it. Then of course the other play is some sort of supported sack through choke, having one soldier bomb behind like one who's peeking aggressively for spam, stuff like that. But it's very hard to make stuff happen on this point at times. If the enemy team is holding well, there's not much you can do.
And that Big Door is being infamous for being really hard to push, especially if a soldier is watching it tightly. Olga is kind of holding in. Chupa is being spotted by Rob, who claims the frag with 2 nice rockets. He has to die for it. But in the end, it's gonna be another setup. But look at Sorax! Oh my god, Sorax just W into that choke! It one-shot Alien, one-shot Nevo, and now it's gonna be a really nice push for CHILLWAGON. The bomb coming from Duog, nice rocket onto Torek, gets the force. The best he could have done here, and now Karnax on his own into lobby, but Mula was able to go back, and
Mula dropped everyone in that. That was, that's very rough for the Frenchies. At least they still have Uber, but they're gonna get forced most likely, considering the enemy team has 2 people up on them right now. I guess
will they be able to push out? It's a bit hard here, Mike, to push out from their lab, because yes, they have the full Uber advantage, but
it's 6v6.
It's 6v6 exactly. Would you feel confident pushing out? Because it looks like they want to push out. I don't know if that's a correct decision here. It's still early into that game, but they're really already taking a really risky play. Warped and Sorex on the big door trying to do something, but Alien had Sickies. And then managed, yeah, the successful push out from the Frenchies.
They're getting in through drop down, so perhaps an exchange will come out on point here, but I don't see it being beneficial.
Oh, the Uber from Olga! They got Wonsu and Garbage, and Torrid has to use his own Uber, but it's already successful for them, and it looks like the Frenchies, they want to take as much ground as they can. Alien bombing on top of the point, spotted by Olga, and Warp is on his own. He has to die for that, and really nice aggressive play here from the Frenchies. Just they went straight from drop down. It looks like they caught Torrid's team off guard.
Torrid only just got the Uber there. I don't think he could have saved those 2 players. I'm not sure if I was looking at the percentage correctly though. Perhaps you'll have some more insight there. But to me, it looks like he just got the Uber. Oh, okay, never mind then. Dropping 2 combo players.
I think he was a bit disconnected, and he couldn't heal them in time. Sacked attempts on the riverside from Karnax and Duo. They can't find any frag. There's a sentry gun who was which was denying them for a bit, and looks like now CHILLWAGON, they want to take some space from riverside, try to see if they can push out. The Ubers are even, but they have more numbers. They have 6 against 4. They try to the bomb. The force is happening. Mula has to use his own Uber, and Torrid is safe and sound on riverside. He doesn't have to use his own Uber, and now they're gonna recommit. But Wonsu died as well.
Wonsu commits too early.
So the no soldiers onto the side of CHILLWAGON. They probably have to go back, and maybe now the force is possible. Karnax get the frag onto Sorex.
Karnax should never get that frag there. That was crazy. that's what I was on about. Oh, there's Captain coming out. They get the force out.
Nice play here. I think it was Olga was playing the point, and he managed to get the force out of this. He's not dead yet. He's still under on river. Can he get any more frags? No, he's been spotted now. There's no way. Olga escapes. He's out of ammo from the looks of it, and but his play was successful because now it's going to be a sizable Uber advantage for Mula and the Frenchies. 50%. This is probably enough for them to make it around. Maybe the first successful push from that game tonight. There's a sentry gun onto the left side, and what would you recommend Mac to push here? Because this is a sizable Uber ad for them.
Sorex doesn't seem to be on Pyro, so they could easily just take this Uber through Shutter or Main, get the gun down, and immediately attempt to get some point pressure, have a scout rush Joe behind the point. Something like that.
The Uber is being used onto Shutter Door, onto the demo and the scout. They get the sentry, but nothing else, and now there's gonna be a heavy onto CHILLWAGON on the right hand side. Nobody's pushing the demo at all. Sorex dies, but everybody's quick. Look at the health. And all guys on the panic attack, got a frag onto Warp. That's unusual. Ubers eventually used by Torre. They are 3 alive. Karnax is behind the point. They don't know about Karnax. He's gonna pressure them, and now the Frenchies committing again from the top side. Torrid's weak. Garbage is weak. Dwarf behind the pot. Gonna rain some rockets on them. There's a pyro as well. And this is the first round from the Frenchies, and it looked a bit sketchy at some point, but they juked that Uber perfectly.
That Uber was... It looked really bad at first. They only got the gun, but they quickly managed to get frags on anyone else who had taken damage. I guess enemy team out of position, not enough off classes.
And this is the first round. The Frenchies are actually on the leads, contrary to what we predicted. And now CHILLWAGON, they're not happy about that. They have to react quickly if they want to make it a tie soon enough. All guys jumping really deep onto Torre, but they got it cleaned up. Duo on the drop down. He's getting a lot of space. Look at the Alien, how aggressive he is over the point. He got the frag onto Sorex and Torre, and Müller died on the flank. I didn't really catch it, but it looks like this is another successful mid for the Frenchies.
The Frenchies completely dominated that mid. They walked across the point however they wanted to. Like, it looks like it was completely on their terms. CHILLWAGON didn't really put up much of a defense. The soldier bombs from Duo actually have been doing a lot. I think he goes up drop, and he lives for far too long.
Yeah, indeed. He goes from drop down, and it looks like he has a really nice sync with Olga because he goes in just when Olga lands onto the combo, so they're just raining a lot of damage onto Torre and Garbage. And Alien was so aggressive, walking over the point uncontested. It looks like it's really catching the CHILLWAGON off guard for some reason. They're not ready for that yet, and they need to find an answer because now they're on their last, they're losing 1-0. There's still plenty of time though, 21 minutes, no need to rush. And I see an NG, and this is gonna be a stalemate here, Mac. And we're gonna say when it's even, Goody Watch Last is really hard to break.
Especially when the sentry gun's up, already a level 3, courtesy of Tempest. Oftentimes you see a lot of Pyro or Sniper coming out as well. Sorax is just staying in Scout. I guess that's how you can make those plays into the lobby whenever they get a pick. But looks like they've got the sentry gun spam down, so expect to see some sort of sack or supported sack play here. A lot of spam coming out from Alien Smiley from River as well.
Yeah, Alien as a demo man, not be really contested. No, it doesn't look like anyone wants to face him when he's on the river side, so he has free range to spam the pipes onto. Oh yeah, as I say that, of course, he's getting punished, and now the Frenchies, they will have to go back. But yeah, you mentioned how Sorax doesn't off class at all, and I feel Sorax is one of those scouts where when you look at the logs, there's no little class icons besides scouts next to his name, and it's kind of unusual in our TF2 era right now, where you don't see a scout off classing at all.
I guess Sorax makes up for it with his plays. Hopefully we get to see some. But yeah, I would say generally speaking, it's just crippling himself. It's so much more powerful, more consistent to be able to play with these powerful off classes that slur the enemy team down. Or even Sniper has the chance to go crazy, even on the defensive, getting some picks before a push. Oh, and they're going in.
Oh, Uber is being used onto the shutter door, and Torrid is using his Uber way after Mula. So now it's gonna be a push out from the CHILLWAGON. They're getting 2 frags here. They're getting the Pocket Scout and the Demo, and Duo getting completely bodied on the shutter door. Mula on his own, Big Dog getting chased by Wonsu and Sorax. There's no way he escapes the Italian W here. And what a push out. But there's a backup coming. Karnax! Karnax gets it! The flank play! How did he do it? Nobody saw him. I didn't even see him.
Karnax just neutralizing all of that hard work put in from CHILLWAGON. That's gotta hurt. Losing a round like that's always painful. Especially that real push out was really nice. Yeah.
So that's how he lived. The banner from Olga onto the riverside kind of saved the life of Karnax, and this is why he was able to cap. And what a back cap here from Karnax. He's just 2-0 now for the Frenchies. And CHILLWAGON really not happy with what's happening. Warp trying to go from the drop down behind, and Duo is doing exactly the same thing. Now he's getting contested, but not really doing a lot of room behind the team. Exactly, and that's gonna be free range for the Frenchies who want to go in.
This is really bad for CHILLWAGON actually, if this fight drags out too long. And that's exactly what it's doing. Turret's down, they're getting more and more picks. It's simple for them at this point to just protect Mula and clean up any stragglers.
I'm not sure I really understand why Wonsu tried to go for the salvage play this time, but didn't work out. But Duo doesn't do that much, you just spam some rockets, and apparently this is enough to just throw off guard CHILLWAGON.
I think the thing is that someone paid attention. I think it was Monster or Warps paid a bit of attention to him and didn't get the frag, or do significant amounts of damage to completely get rid of him as a factor in the fight. So, and they had already lost one as well. So, it's really odd when something like that happens. It essentially means you're stuck in a 5v5, but there's someone behind you, ready to flank at any time. Maybe if you get to faculty. They have to go forward in a situation like that.
Yeah, exactly, and they got punished, and now the Uber is being used by the Frenchies onto the last of CHILLWAGON. Nevo trying straight to go for garbage. So can he get the frag? He's getting juked. Can he get the one-on-one? He's getting held by the soldier, and now there's a heavy. Heavy is gonna hold that. Hampus on the heavy straight out of the spawn. Mula on his own riverside, he dives to rocket from Warp, and this is gonna be a push out definitely for CHILLWAGON. And I feel it all went down to Nevo not being able to kill garbage on under the point.
Look at Dwo in the drag spot as well. The flank from the Frenchies here is actually doing a lot of impressive. Dwo is they don't know where Dwo is. He's gonna sink bomb on turret now.
He gets a rocket, gets 2, and gets a force. Yeah, but that's good enough here for Duo. Equalizes the situation, and now that Nevo is on Sniper, it's probably not the best moment for him to be on Sniper. Mid is gonna go to CHILLWAGON. There's nobody from the Frenchies to contest that. All guys being chased onto Big Dog by a scout and a soldier, and yeah, that was a unexpected. I don't think Olga expected two players to go on his face. It looked at aggression from CHILLWAGON. They're just going in Karnax, getting killed onto the pawn as well. And somehow the situation looked really even, but a little feeds here and there from the Frenchies are leading CHILLWAGON to pushing in. There's a
sorry, go on.
No, go on, go on.
Mula here has ad actually, so if they overstay their welcome here, an aggressive Uber could be taken in. And as I've said that, Torres already blocked. There's action here. A lot of frags. I think that was a bit of a desperation push from them. They thought it was a good idea, and they didn't cut their losses and leave.
I feel, yeah, the aggression was going so well for them early on that they felt like they could just keep on doing it, and the Frenchies were ready for them with a heavy, so that's what made the difference. And nice holds. I like the idea from CHILLWAGON, but at some point you have to realize we have to stop and just chill a bit. And now the CHILLWAGON wasn't chill enough here on that situation, and now the Frenchies going into drop down onto mid. They're being called. The bomb coming from Warped. He's getting the force. Shooting at Alien, and now it's gonna die for it. But this is a really nice play here from Warped, and it's gonna give his team an Uber Raps. And with 2-0 in 15 minutes, this is where the clock starts ticking.
I mean, there's a cloud on that. What basically delayed them from going for a push. Nevo wanted to continue big goal, but Uber was already up at that point. So, very good force there. And the enemy team is coming in now, CHILLWAGON, attempting to push into mid.
They're taking their sweet time, and look at Müller already 60%, and Alien completely out of position, getting punished just straight from it. And yeah, CHILLWAGON going onto big door now. They gotta get an aggressive Uber onto the lobby, but he's alone, the scout. Hempu is completely alone against non-Uber, Nevo and Karnax, but he can't do enough on his own. He only has 6 bullets in the end. Alien in the forward spawn. Do they want to take that fight? Yes, they want to take that fight. Torre overcoming it. Olga with Flash Rocket claims 2 frag, and Garbage dies as well on the flank. Hempus feeds on his own, and again, it feels like CHILLWAGON not really aware of the Uber situation for the French team.
And a bit of a pause coming out here. So 90 seconds from now, do you want to bet this round was converted as well? Because I think it should be.
It should be, but I feel like, I don't know, it's like CHILLWAGON are playing really desperate right now, even though they still have 15 minutes, which is a decent amount of time, and I feel like they're already playing against the clock and doing some rush plays, rush decisions. So it feels like the Frenchies, we've mentioned experience before the game started. It feels like this is where it's starting to be taken into account.
One interesting thing is the use of banners from the Frenchies, actually. I never talked about it in the downtimes earlier. Even right now in the pause, you can see Olga's on battalions, but earlier on he was on the conch. I saw Dwell on the buff banner as well, like some double conch stuff on last. I think he popped the buff banner when he was running out with Mula. He was like tooting the horn as he got killed by like 5 people. But that's pretty interesting.
But yeah, Olga is one of those players. He does that surprising things, and I feel like, can we still be surprised about banners in 2019, Mag? I feel like they've been around for a long enough time that you can't really get caught out of guard by banners.
Sure, yeah, I agree with that to an extent. But the buff banner part was always interesting to me. I hope to see that again if there's an opportunity. I think buff banner is never used, is it? I've never seen it used in a serious game.
I've seen it in scrims, but yeah, in actual official settings, I don't think. It feels like buff banner is really is high risk, high rewards, but in officials you don't want to you usually don't want to go for the high risk plays, because you know, if you get punished, then it can steamroll really fast. I think the Battle's Bucket is a bit of a safer option, and
the freest option, yeah, the easiest.
But yeah, 2-0 for the Frenchies now. You didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. What do you think is what's lacking for CHILLWAGON at the moment?
I don't see any sort of like aggressive, sort of proactive plays coming out from them. It seems they're content to just. It's gonna sound very harsh, but the mids especially are kind of shocking. They just go up onto their side of mid and like roll over and die. They don't really do much. It's very rough stuff to see, actually. Hopefully they fix that. Maybe that's what this pause is for. I'm not trying to point fingers or anything.
But yeah, you're right. There are tactical pauses. They are a thing. So maybe this is what's happening right now. I don't know. We can't know what's the situation when the pause happens. So of course we can
Until match happens, yeah.
only guess. And you mentioned how they were not really aggressive, and I feel like the only time they've been aggressive, it started off really well, and then it got punished
They get too
instantly.
greedy.
So it's about finding that right balance between being aggressive and realize, you know, count your options and realize you have to go back at some point. So kind of, I feel this team is quite new. We've mentioned how it was a brand new team made by Torret in an attempt to go to Prem. So they can't have been playing together for a long time. So this is probably what's happening right now. You know, you're not really used to your teammates. You're using a Merc, so there's a little tuning to be made in order to have a proper feel of the game. So maybe this is what's happening.
I mean, sorry, I just completely blanked. I was about to say something. My bad.
So you played with terrorists for a while. Every time you play with other people, it's kind of that same thing where you need to adapt to new players that you don't really know.
Definitely, especially. Oh, and we're back in.
Yeah, we're back.
But no action yet. Seems like. Oh, Elliott's only on the spawn camp. Gets punished though.
That aggression that we talked about being punished on both sides of the battlefield, and now Nevo's gonna get caught out of position. No,
what?
Nevo! No, take that back. He's getting 2 frags. What a play from the Merc coming from Aura Electro, and I've heard a banner as well.
That's the Battalions, yeah.
And now they're going in onto the Shadow Door. They haven't used the Uber yet because they don't have to. There's a heavy. Yunai's holding onto. Doesn't even have Uber. That's why he doesn't use it. And look at that. Free cap time finally uses his own Uber, and it's gonna be really hard for CHILLWAGON to hold that. And this is a round. You mentioned that the pause would be maybe a round, and this is exactly what happened. And what a play! Really nice and clean push here from the Frenchies.
That Nevo playing big ball was crazy. He was completely like pulled out of position. I think they should have killed him and ran, right? Because they're still down numbers, and we lost close to Uber. But that was crazy. And we're getting into a new mid here.
Yeah, nice. Like the aggression. Who warped just straight onto Erligan's face, and he gets a frag and turrets. Surf is 1 rocket, Surf can't surf the second one, and both medics no, Muller's still alive, so now this could be a battle of attrition in favor of the Frenchies.
Was standing still in big door. I guess that's where the pause comes out.
Oh.
Actually, he was standing still in big door the entire mid.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the pause.
Keen eye from Mak. This is why we have him on board. But a nice Warp had a decent mid, but then it kind of went to. I mean, Wonzu was. Would you say Wonzu lack of mid was?
Yeah, he was standing still in big door the entire mid. That's sort of a shame actually, because that was the first time. Them going up. They said, okay, going our side hasn't been working. Let's go up their side. Try to take the fight to them. And it's a good idea. I support it. But I guess that's so unlucky actually that happens there. So now that's fully red again from Mudla.
And the Uber is being used onto again the Shadow Door. There's a Pyro and an NG, but the Sentry is already down. No, Sorex is on heavy, he's off-classing, but is that gonna be enough? The Pyro from Hampus putting so much damage and space, but he dies eventually, and now it's gonna be a 6-on-4 on 5 on the favor of the Frenchies. Can they fight this garbage? Is unscathed on the point. Nevo is going back in the bomb from 2 onto Torret. Torret dies at the Shadow Door. It was almost in spawning Karnax as well. And that's a 4-0, and imagine if Wonzu was there on mid, it could have been a whole new story.
In the scoreline rather than 4-0.
That's
devastating.
Exactly. It's a bit. When you're CHILLWAGON right now, you can be a bit annoyed. And is there any point in keeping on playing this first map, because it looks like the Frenchies, they have this firmly within their grasp, and we're going into the 5th mid. No aggression this time from the soldier. The bomb coming. Torret's already really weak on Victor.
This is looking like a. Oh, never mind, they're getting 2 more frags. I was about to say it's looking like a repeat of their last mids where they just sit on full position and die, but they're doing the opposite. But
yeah.
It does look like Ula's getting out. So is Ula. Olga, actually. Not Ula.
It looks like CHILLWAGON are learning from their mistake eventually, and this time they didn't stay content of just sitting on the ground. They just. Yeah, we've lost 2 players, we're just gonna jump in anyway, and that was a nice reaction here from CHILLWAGON. I think Müller didn't die, so it's gonna be an even Uber situation, and this is where it's gonna be a bit tricky now for CHILLWAGON to push back in because they don't have that much time because they're 4 rounds down. I think they have 12 minutes, and they're using that Uber. They're gonna go for the trade straight onto Müller. They're using the Uber, but there's a gun and the power. Wonzu died, getting kind of let down by the rest of his team, and now it's gonna be maybe a hold, an even situation here. It looks like the Frenchies, they're quite happy of sitting back into the last, quite understandable. I mean, they're winning 4-0, they don't have any incentive to push out of their last. There's still a pyro, and I think I've heard the sniper, but no, I'm not sure. There's an NG into the hands of Karnax, and now both teams are gonna build their own Uber. Look at Wonzu, he's gonna be on heavy. So maybe there's an interesting play into the back of the heads of the CHILLWAGON players. We'll see what they want to do, but first they have to build their own Uber. And they have to do so while pressuring the gun, but now the gun is already gonna be a level 3 soon enough, so it's gonna be tricky for CHILLWAGON to break that hold, and I'm interested to see what they will do as Mak is fixing his mic. So I'm on my own once more. Wonzu is trying to go under the point as heavy. He has no buffs and he's being called, so I don't really know what's the plan here for CHILLWAGON. He's going in, Duo has spotted him, and now it's gonna be just free spam onto the heavy, so I don't really know what they want to do. This using the Uber, CHILLWAGON onto the top right. Müller eventually uses his Uber, but Alien's getting bombed by Sorax and the heavy. So somehow they get the frag onto the demo. Is that going to be enough for CHILLWAGON to make that a round? They're still trying to push in, but Torred is completely disconnected. He can only arrow, doesn't heal anyone. And maybe this is going to be the doom. But no! Sorax capping because nobody was contesting the point. I think Karnax was fighting the demo on his own. I didn't see that Sorax was capping. And now there's a little glimmer of hope for CHILLWAGON. They made it 4-1. First round for them in this qualifier game, and maybe there's hope for them after all. 8 minutes remaining. There's plenty of time, not plenty of time, there's enough time for them to come back. And we should... Mak, are you here among the leading?
Hopefully it's working now. Sorry again for all the previous issues, but I think I have the fix now.
Okay, want to try to go in warped as well, but they got cleaned up by the frag alien with a long range sticky pipe onto Hampus, and it looked like that round for CHILLWAGON is already gonna be punished because they can't do anything. It's a nice in favor of the Frenchies, and what a dominant mid again from Olga and the rest of his team.
It must hurt when you like finally get around and then something like this happens. Putting all that hard work back, sending them back to 4 rounds behind now. It should be, at least. And there's Wonzu going down as well before the push. They should be able to take some nice buffs here and get into last.
Yeah, they're going again through Shadow. He walked for them previously. They're getting the gun really early, but again, nobody's really pressuring Garbage Show under the point. Alien tried to go in, it should be a scout, and now it looks like this fight may go in favor of the Frenchies, but no, as I said that, Garbage Show eventually dies.
No scouts with Frenchies.
And there's a heavy. The heavy should be the doom of Genaration Karnax. They have to go back, and now it's only Alien. Alien on the point. Can he do anything? He gets a frag. He gets 2 frags.
What?
How? Alien got the frag. He got the round alone.
Sorax was chasing the med as well there from the looks of it. So perhaps if he didn't go for that chase, that round wouldn't have converted like that. There's a lot of silly crabs coming out from the Frenchies. Perhaps CHILLWAGON should respect the fact that something like that could happen. That's the second, third time that like a cap has happened on these conditions as we get into a new map.
And I don't think there's enough time now for CHILLWAGON. They have to make the best of it. They're getting the frag onto Olga and Alien and Karnax. That's 3 kills now in favor of CHILLWAGON. They can take that mid again, aggressive over the point, but Duo again on the flank. It feels like he has done that every single mid-mac, and it worked every single time.
He got turret? I didn't even see that. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching Wonzu chase the med out. That's really rough, because now they have 80% ad. The Müller managed to escape successfully while Torre goes down, even on the mid they won.
Yeah, I think he went drop down.
A blind there from Garbage.
Yeah, that's a textbuch blind there onto Olga, and it looks like the Frenchies, they don't just want to take a 5-1, it looks like they want to make it even, they want to make a round difference. They're pushing onto mid, but there is a flank. Exactly. Sorax, Warped, and Hampus are behind, and it looks like they want to initiate a back cap, but whoa, he's there, and his watch has ended.
they're all returning back to clean up these flankers, but they get the force out. Natsura has a lot of time to attempt to build this evil. He only uses Devil Man with him though, and choke. Even the flank plays seem to be so uncoordinated from CHILLWAGON. They could have I don't know, I feel like they could have capitalized a lot more of that if they somehow managed to get some to work their combo into it a little bit, you know, some amount of pressure.
And the aggression from the bomb from Warp got the frag onto Mula, so this is even now a freer entry for the Frenchies. Olga going drop down. Kenny, has he been seen? I don't think he's been spotted. He's going in. One rocket onto two rockets.
Torre is so low right now.
And he doesn't use nice holes, but he has to.
The Frenchies will work for this though.
Exactly. Is that worth it? I don't know.
Control point is being captured.
Karnax completely on his own. He finds his med. He reconnects with him. Look at CHILLWAGON. They're being aggressive. They have no other choice. They're going in, but Wander's getting denied by Karnax. Eventually dies, and now it's on Nivo, but there's no way he can contest it. And that's a round. And this is his 5 minutes. 3 rounds is 5 minutes. It's actually doable. Do you think they can do it?
It's physically possible. Whether they're capable of doing it, we'll find out, I guess. Because the mids are very odd. Some of their recent mids actually have been pretty decent. Perhaps if they get another one of those mids where they wipe the enemy team and keep Torre up, keep Mula down, something like that, that could work out.
And this is the 8th mid here. The aggression coming from Wanzu onto the flank. He's trying to go into the elbow. He's being chased by Nivo, and he can't really get the frag. He has to go back. But Mula died to Warp, and Warp gets another frag onto Zudimo. Nice job here from the roamer, claiming 2 frags, and now it's going to be a 3v2. But look at the health onto the Frenchies. It's really bad, and Sorax can one-shot all of them if he wishes. So, but he can't. Wanzu's there.
Looks like Wanzu's just going to be running out now as well.
Here's 1 HP. Look at who's there? Oh, it's Karnax.
Karnax.
You didn't see Wanzu who was here.
If he ran like a little bit more forward, he was going to frag Wanzu there for sure. That's crazy. And it looks like they're dry pushing now because they have to. So they're in on mid. They already get Olga. This is a good start to this sort of combat here. And they can revive in big door if this is done right. Oh, but Wanzu going down.
But they got Alien in the process, so that's pretty good. They got the demo down. They have
Karnax is feeding too now.
Ubers are even, and now it looks like it's okay for CHILLWAGON to push in. Olga caught out of position. He wasn't forward.
Torre and Sorax could be problem. Yep, Torre and Sorax can completely punish for that. Oh, is it Hempel? Sorry, not Sorax. Sorax is capping mid.
Kind of a mistake here, Mac, to push on their own without really checking anything.
Just 2 players running in through big door. I mean, I guess they have to though, right? But
yeah,
there were other players up. I don't get why Garbage wasn't with them. I swear he was up, unless I'm misremembering.
You're right. They don't have that many other choices if they want to make it around. But this is why fighting against the clock is really hard, because it makes you rush your play, and now CHILLWAGON are trying to go back into that mid. They don't have it, but they got 2 frags. No soldiers onto the side of the Frenchies. Alien dies as well, and now the chase is on. The chase is on. Empus is on his own. He's getting assisted by Garbage and by Warped. They're gonna set a certain position onto that second point, and they're gonna claim that. They also have a small ad, but now it's only 2 minutes, and at this point they just wanna make successful pushes to have a better spirit into the next game. They're going through shutter doors. Torre doesn't have Uber yet. Empus is on his own, and Sorak died on the flank. And I don't think they can do it.
Seconds being blocked, you're right.
Can they get there? They can't even get
One's
that.
just capping it slowly, and they get Uber. Oh, Torre could have died. Torre forces on his way back. He eats a lot of damage from below. This is such a bad Uber into a Pyro in lobby as well. It's not going to be getting anything.
And wants to die to the Pyro, and this is it. This is gonna be the first map in favor of the Frenchies. There's no way now that CHILLWAGON can make it a comeback, and at this point, when you're CHILLWAGON, you just wanna try to see if you can go for some nice play, nice hero shots, just to, you know, keep your head up, because there's at minimum another map, maybe even 2. So it's not over yet for CHILLWAGON, and they know that. And look at them, they're being aggressive onto Victor, get the frag onto the roamer, as the Frenchies are just pushing onto mid. What is this? It's like it's a little messy right now, Mac.
It's one of those Scooby-Doo scenes where they're running through all the doors. Looks like the Frenchies, I was about to say coming out on top, but definitely not. They're just getting cleaned up on second. Perhaps I can convert this into a little morale round here, as they do wipe the Frenchies on second.
This is why you don't play Pyro anymore. You've been nerfed, Pyro. You can't be seen on the battlefield anymore. And Müller died as well. Torrid, I think, died as well. But at this point, it's more of a battle for the logs. Look at Olga. He's on
Already
heavy
on
now, trying
Princess.
to field as many of classes as he can in the little time that he's allowed to.
Maybe he's going for the mental edge, get some BM in. Perhaps,
And look, Nevo's so keen, he's building the Uber, even though it's quite worthless at this point because there's no time. Rila can get the Uber now, and you know, just keeping their head into that game. And the trap from Alien, get the frag onto Joe, the bomb coming from Warped. They can't even get one frag yet, they get
Storage on
Nevo.
point, and what was going to spray him out.
And it's only one Zoo, one soldier, and he's dead. So that's it. That's the first map for Generation Karnax. And this is quite of a heavy score then as well, Mac. I think we both expected
I did not expect this at all. I expected
CHILLWAGON to go on top, and yeah, this is quite the opposite that happened.
like, let alone yeah. So sorry, let me start that again. Let alone CHILLWAGON not winning it. They lost it by a pretty decent amount. Like, perhaps call me out if I'm wrong here, but I don't think 5-2 really represents the game. I think the Frenchies were in control of the game the entire time, really.
Yeah, somehow they without them in caller, they still managed to without Rav, they still managed to feel really comfortable, feel really confident in what they were doing, and their plays seemed a bit more controlled. And while you mentioned at the end how the CHILLWAGON players look like a little Scooby-Doo kind of play style, and it feels like it wasn't really only at the end. We kind of saw that a bit here and there throughout the whole map. So maybe this is what do you think is what do you think it is? Lack of communication or
I feel like it might be a sorry to cut you off. I feel like it might be a lack of respect being shown for Karnax and Dwo here. They think it feels like the way CHILLWAGON are attempting to deal with these flank plays is to hope they don't go for it again, expecting them to not do it again. But they're not really ever being punished. If I were Karnax or Dwo, I would continue going for these. They continue to work out, honestly. The success rate on these sort of back caps or these med forces is very high for a lot higher than you'd hope them to be if you're CHILLWAGON.
correct? And we'll take a look at the logs before we go into Snakewater. And look at Nevo. What a start line for him. Going 29 for 14 with a 10k damage. So that's a quality merc here for the French team. And Sorax had a decent game as well. So both scout mercs did really well. And it's pretty bad. Not really the best thing to call out people, but it looks like Joe had a rough game.
He went positive on damage, not by much, but it's more so the deaths that speak to me. 19 deaths as a demo is a lot. Granted, Alien also got 18, but his team's winning. A lot of high deaths from both demos this game, actually. Alien died the second most of his team. Don't really want to see that much as demo, but can't argue if it worked out. I guess Alien was getting hung out to dry in a lot of situations. Olga, Karnax, and Dwo kind of stealing the show, but he didn't do so bad at all on the damage front.
And the thing that kind of worries me for CHILLWAGON is the amount of death for Wonzo. He died 29 times, and I think it's the pocket.
Yeah.
So there's obviously like between this and the sightline from Joe, it looks like the combo has some difficulties to adjust to each other.
Wonzu, I guess he also did lag out at one point. Hope maybe he was having other net issues along with it. Hopefully it's resolved for this map rather. But Wonzu, I think, was if you look at the soldier damage, pretty much in the same band. Warped with 285, Dwo with 307, Olga with 299. Wonzu is at 241. It's a lot below the other three soldiers on the server. So like I predicted, I think soldiers were the defining factor, except I got it the wrong way round. I guess Dwo and Olga proving me wrong. Superior soldier combo.
So you were both wrong and right somehow.
Yeah.
What a gamer. This is Mac, ladies and gentlemen. He's both right and wrong.
Okay.
And
my reasoning was right. My pick was wrong.
Yeah, true, correct. So we've identified maybe the things that went wrong for CHILLWAGON. So now, Mac, if you're playing for CHILLWAGON, how do you? Well, obviously, if you're playing for CHILLWAGON, this never happens because you're playing for them. But let's pretend you're in that team. How do you try to fix things?
They need to. They can't really let. I'd say one thing that could be really bad is the way they lost some rounds were really sad for them. Like not trying to pile on or anything here, but like losing to backcaps from Karnax and stuff. That's really brutal. That can affect you in a best of 3 set. Best thing for them to do is to attempt to have a little mental reset and ensure that they need to try and do everything they can to avoid such a situation. Show a bit more respect for the flank players. Try and play a bit more disciplined. I think it's the best thing they can do.
And maybe it also comes down to a little miscommunication. If someone is on the flank, maybe he's been called, and people thought
Didn't come
someone
back,
else would take care
etc.
of it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And if you don't really communicate with people, especially if you're not really used to play with them, maybe this is why. Maybe one of the reasons why it happened. And on the other hand, let's praise the Frenchies a bit. They did really well, despite not having Raf. I felt like Olga did okay at taking the initiative and creating space, even though he died more than his roamer. It feels like he just taking that responsibility of making the space and sacrificing his own logs just for the greater good. And I mean, as a soldier, he can only praise that kind of playstyle.
The only log that matters is the 5-2 scoreline for Olga. So yeah, definitely agree with that. I think Olga was playing well. The logs, honestly, I would even say the logs show it. 299 damage. It's a lot of damage. He did second most on his team. No, third most. But when your team is kind of dominating the match like that, that's pretty reasonable. You can't really hold them against say you're on pocket soldier. How come you didn't do more damage?
Yeah.
They already won the match. That's all that matters. Map, not match. That's going to be decided in the next 2 maps.
Oh well, I mean, you're both right and wrong. So maybe you're right and they won the game, and we don't know it yet. Who knows? Maybe you can read the future, Mac. And one last number that I didn't notice until now is that Tori died 17 times.
That's more than double the amount.
Yeah, that's a tad too much, I would say.
Yeah. But how much of it?
Oh yeah. Elbiter is telling us that both Empus and Sorex got more heals than the soldiers. So I know we're in a meta where both cards are playing cat pocket, but this is maybe a bit too extreme. And I think that the number of death from turret maybe just emphasizes the lack of cohesion within the combo from CHILLWAGON.
Especially on I keep harping on about it. Gully is a very soldier-centric map in my opinion. Perhaps I'm have a different view on the game in that regard, but I think there's some others out there who agree. You can definitely do a lot on this map as Pocky and Roma. Like Olga did a lot with just 19% heals actually. It's pretty impressive stuff. I think Wanzu also only had 19%, but the split between the scouts is different. And the demo man.
So you said that Gully is a soldier heavy map.
Yeah.
What about Snake? Especially, I feel like we've seen a lot of aggression from Olga and Wu on the mids on Gully, and I feel on Snake it's even more important. It's really one of the pillars of the mid, is the aggression from your soldiers. So just that soul fight give the edge to the Frenchies?
Yeah. If Glow and Olga keep playing the way they are, and if Wanzu and Warp don't step up their game, I think the mids will end up pretty much the same as Gully mids. Hopefully, CHILLWAGON, for their sake, can fix that, but we'll find out now, I guess, as the teams are going live.
We will find out now. You've heard Mac, the voice of truth, and wrong sometime, but this is second map. This is Snake Water between Genaration Karnax and CHILLWAGON. The Frenchies won the first map, and they're one map away from going back into Prem after playing in it last season, and this is the first mid. CHILLWAGON, they have to come back. They have to win this map if they want to have a shot tonight to win that game. And the aggression, no aggression actually coming here. We've been proven wrong already. And the Duo was behind, but not really aggressive. We're just doing a bait play, got cleaned up by Wanzu, and looks like it's already going in the favor of CHILLWAGON. Joe is being aggressive onto the point, but as I say that, 2 frags coming the way of the Frenchies, and now CHILLWAGON, they have to be careful. The bomb coming from Wanzu, getting cleaned up by Olga, who was just watching him the whole time, and now Torre and Garbage living from Sorum at least. At least Torre didn't die, so that's the saving grace probably for CHILLWAGON.
That mid was very odd. It looked very in CHILLWAGON's favor. Oh, and there's an exchange happening. 1 second.
Oh yeah, the Frenchies, they don't waste any time here. They're forcing the Uber out of turret, and look at turret being a bit too overcommitted. Is gonna get punished, of course he is, by Olga and Alien and Karnax behind. Karnax won a 1v1 against Sorex. Who would have thought? And now the French is just gonna steamroll into last. Olga is already through drop down while the rest of his team is pushing to the left hand side. Wonzu getting launched into the air, is crazy to the ground, and it is definitely gonna be a round for the Frenchies. There's no way CHILLWAGON can hold this unless some Hail Mary play, and the French is trying to maybe put some cap time, but no, Garbage has some stickies onto the pawn, so he's gonna deny that entry play. And Olga has his banner. Is he ready? Doesn't look like it.
In with the sack, and oh, gets piped on the way out. Nice little fade away. And it looks like Frenchie's taking their foot off the pedal a little bit, getting ready to build the rest out of that banner and the Uber charge. They have banner and Uber ready now. I guess they can walk in a bit with the banner and then Uber. Oh no, they do both.
Oh, that's interesting. They're getting straight onto Torred, who's getting caught out of position once again, and no, Garbage, just the way he escapes that, he's gonna die as well. Mulat dies, but is that really what the Fracture want to go for? Hemp is not heavy, he gets completely melts Karnax, and Duo dies as well. Now it's on Nevo with 5 HP, and somehow, somewhere, there was a lucky star for CHILLWAGON because they were able to hold that last. What happened? How did that hold work?
Looks like Warped and Hempus and Sorex had a great little salvage play there, just completely picking the perfect timing to just get back on those players, punish them for being weak and out of ammo after getting Torre and Joe. And it looks like we're going to enter a bit of a stalemate here on second. Even Ubers, even picks, and is Olga still on a banner?
But, so we've seen the Frenchies using both the Uber and the banner through the shutter door. I don't think that's how you want to use that, Mac.
No, you want to use one of the other first and try to hold on to the other one for the post fight. It's a bit greedy to banner through and hope you don't die to all the spam. But there's a dry push coming out here through Sword.
It's a risky play because Torred is 60. HP just got his Uber, and both Warp and Hempus died, being a bit too aggressive. I feel like again some miscommunication is hurting CHILLWAGON, and now it's only Garbage and Torred. They are the only one left alive. The bomb coming from Torred, there's no way any of them escape. Mula piped by Garbage, almost died, but it feels like CHILLWAGON are kind of rushing it in, even though there's still 26 minutes. They have time before taking the risk here, but it doesn't really pay off. Warped just levitating into the air because of the scout, and another push from the Frenchies. Can they make that a round, or is it going to be another desperation holds from CHILLWAGON?
But yeah, looks like they're giving it up. Karnax went very deep there to try and get some cap time. He had no buff or beam on him. Pretty it's funny that when you talk about CHILLWAGON rushing, it looks like they rush it a bit. But now they're Uber charge and CHILLWAGON is the ones attempting to push. This is very
Bomb
odd.
coming from Warp, gets one rocket onto Mula, who's jukes it away and doesn't use, but now he has to, and this is not really good Uber here from the Frenchies because everybody from CHILLWAGON is already out of position.
They have 2 frags. They can move top left with this. Torre still doesn't have. If they're counting well, they can at least get a second rather, supported sack.
Doesn't look like they want to take that risk. I think the preemptive spam from Garbage was enough to push out the Frenchies back to the second point. And now Torre called this Uber, they have it, and they maybe want to try to push out, but this is extremely risky because they have no number at whatsoever. Except Ubers, and the stick is from Empus. They have to go back now. There's no way this is a push.
Blow are going for this push through under to try and punish them, but yeah, Torre's already come back to last. It's going to give Mula enough time to build either, even if they lose some picks here.
And again, CHILLWAGON maybe rushing things a bit too much. They have enough time, in my eyes, to just take a breather, just set up on last and see what the Frenchies can throw at them.
It's not 5-2 anymore. There's no round advantage for the Frenchies here. I don't get why they're so eager to escape these situations. Obviously, you don't want to be on last, but the timer isn't really going against you. If anything, it's going for you. If you let the round tick down, you go back to mid. But Hemp's on sniper here.
Yeah, Hampus on sniper, maybe a sign that CHILLWAGON are finally ready to wait a bit, but he's on his own, getting pressured, and he dies to a nice pipe here from Alien. And is that the entry pick that the Frenchies need, maybe to get a force? Duo going through drop down, this is straightforward, and he's jumping straight into a gun.
That's a nice rocket.
And Torrid surfs away.
I mean, I don't know why Hempus had no support there on top right. I think he had a onesie, even though onesie took too much damage. I don't get why onesie's attempting to do anything though. You have a sniper. All you have to do is protect him on the right. They're going for some double solly spam on the med, forcing them out of lobby here. Moolah goes very low actually. Could have dropped the spam.
Hampus still on sniper, but it looks like he's gonna have some competition because Karnax spawned on sniper himself. So who's gonna shot in the end of the first the whole point of the next few minutes?
Yeah. Things are really going to slow down here. Sniper v sniper on Snake Blast. I think most people have been through this situation and know how painful it could be. Or how nice it can be if your sniper just goes in and kills everything. There's Karnax taking the peak. And immediately shot down.
Oh, look at Hampus so aggressive onto lobby. He had for a slight moment a shot onto Moolah, but it wasn't long enough for him to take that shot, and he had to die for it because he couldn't
take it. They're pushing top left.
Frenchies. And Garbage jumped in really aggressively. Looks like he wants to take a trade, maybe wants to dead, and looks like
there's so much damage on the Frenchies.
They want to go for a trade. This gun is dead before even pushing. That's really good here for the Frenchies. The Ubers are being traded, and it looks alright here for the Frenchies.
The Frenchie Uber is so good.
And now they're gonna walk in, they're gonna cap maybe, yes, they're getting the demo. This is such a crucial pick here for the Frenchies. And they got also Hampus, so now this is really good cap time from Duo.
But no scouts.
That was really nice here from him, but it looks like the Frenchies didn't take advantage of that situation, and now they will have to fall back, try not to die. This is gonna be a bit complicated for them, but it's a 3v3, they managed to fall out, and I feel like that play from Duo was alright if he was a scout, but as a soldier, when you're not being called, you really need to jump for the med, and Olga has.
They've been through the fight with the banner the entire time, yeah. So I guess that's the one takeaway for the Frenchies, even though the trade ended up being even. Actually, somehow the Frenchies have ad here, even though Torrid used a lot earlier than them. Obviously, they don't know they ad. Maybe they do. Let's see what they do with it.
Well, they can't. There's no way they can possibly know that they have ad because they traded the Uber. So I think they're just gonna play for that. Banner play. Which one is that? Is a conch, right? So.
And Torrid now holding on the shed.
Or they use on through the shutter door, getting the gun, getting the force out of Torrid and try to go back. And they probably want to push out with the banner once they're ready.
This is rough.
But look at that aggression here from CHILLWAGON, and Wanzu Sorax getting the frag onto Alien, and Empus got the frag onto Muller as well. So no heals onto the side of the Frenchies.
Let's bring them all back for it. It'll buy time for spawners, but Torrid's team here, CHILLWAGON, still have Uberad and they still have numbers up. They're going to be able to get out onto secondary. But right as I say this, a backup from Karnax, and they managed to deal with it.
This time,
not
this time, Karnax. You can't.
But he's on Torrid. What? Okay, that was very odd. Torrid had no one with him there for a second, and Karnax was just on it. They're not on second anymore as a result of this. That's really good play coming out from Karnax.
The brain in action here from Karnax, completely pushing out. CHILLWAGON back to their last. They can't push out anymore onto the second, but they have a slight ad, and we've seen CHILLWAGON pushing on smaller ads than those. So maybe they want to take it. Looks like they want to take it onto the balcony, but Warp is already dead. They need to cancel now. There's no way they can take that fight.
I mean, so one change already. I think we've both seen this map is they are actually respecting these Karnax plays a lot more, but they're so ill-equipped to deal with it that Karnax is still. While he's not winning entire rounds for his team, he's buying a lot of time for them. Now they're pushing top left, perhaps for a support side.
Ooh, nice rocket.
Nice frag on 1-2.
Exactly, and the bomb coming from Droid tries to land onto Torrid, but Hampus was there looking out for his medic, and now Muller's kind of an awkward position here between the pipes and the rockets. He has to escape somehow without being forced. He's only 100, he got spammed.
Oh, there's the
force. A nice play here from both Warped and Hampus, getting the force out of Muller, and it looks like the Frenchies didn't even use the Uber to get the force out of Torrid. They're just giving a lot of respect to CHILLWAGON, and they probably know. I wonder if they know that CHILLWAGON is gonna push out anyway, so all they have to do is play for the backup. Maybe this is what they think about.
Yeah. Especially with such a flank-oriented team. Karnax already wheeling his way in numbers, moving towards drop now.
Oh,
And he's
way
in them in
behind.
lobby and dies.
Yeah,
Perhaps not
he
the
tried
best
to
way
go
of
for
something.
yeah, exactly. He tried to go for the force, but I feel like going for the backup once more was probably the best decision. But in the end, Uber as being used by Torre, and this is gonna be another Uber ad for Mula. They're missing their pocket and their scout, so they're probably gonna wait. And look at CHILLWAGON, they're not
Force
waiting
attempt here.
in any way, and I feel like this is not the correct play here. Just going straight into the Uber from the
This
Frenchies.
Uber is going to be
It's
cruising
being
for them.
used. They're getting 2, they're getting maybe 3, they're getting 4 even with 1-2. And yeah, they force the Uber, but is it worth it to waste more than half of your team? And look at the Frenchies, they're thirsty for blood. Olga is in, gets 1 rocket onto garbage, and Torre
Before getting
finds
piped down.
safety into the spawn. And but look at the aggression again for the
This-
Frenchies. Look, setting up a camp on last.
Unfortunately, the cap from Karnax is a bit too slow there. I don't think that's Karnax's fault, but just, you know, the fact that they have to cap both mid and second. No, sorry, they didn't have to cap mid, but the way in which they did it meant they couldn't possibly have gone last there. I think they overstayed their welcome a bit. Lost Dwo without doing much with him. I think he just went for a really basic side. As there's now an Uber in.
And the double backlap from Karnax and Olga, it's only warped on last, there's no way he can win the 1v2, and exactly this is what's happening. And it feels like CHILLWAGON, yes, they've learned a bit, but they've not learned all of it, and another backup seals the deal for the Frenchies.
It's so I respect the fact that they've been keeping warped on loss. I think I saw it when Karnax went into lobby and died to the 2 scouts, but warped can't possibly deal with that. There's something else going wrong. I would say it's down to the scouts and onesie to clear out those pesky little drop downs and lows as we get into a new mid.
Pesky little drops down, it's been identified by Mak, and now this is the second mid, and the Frenchies are once more in the lead. They're getting used to that, and now CHILLWAGON, they have to do something. They can't afford to lose that second map, or else they're just not gonna make it to Prem tonight. Roamer have traded themselves, Dwo and Warped are both dead, and looks like now both teams just spamming each other, see who is gonna take the better end of that fight. Olga on the flank, try to see if he can go for the medic. I don't think he's been spotted. It is going in. One rocket onto Torre. Can he get another one? Yes, he can with the help of Nevo getting the frag. And now it's gonna be the mid grinder
But Joe's in.
for the Frenchies. The bomb is coming onto Mula, but Mula escapes. He doesn't use his Uber. He holds it forever. And what a mid. A really nice and cautious play here from the Frenchies.
The coordination from the Frenchies there was great. Everyone had proper positioning to protect Mula. No one was too crowded up on like Hut or up top to you know, potentially die themselves if they choose to not go for Mula. That was really, really well played there, that tail end of that mid. Even the entire mid, I guess, considering the fact that Olga went for that play that ended up getting the med. So now it should be an even push into last, and it looks like they're opting to go under with it.
Yes, they're going under. They use the Uber onto the demo and the scout. They're not getting anything out of it. They just got the gun now, but is that enough? They got warped on the flank. Can they get also Garbage, who's been completely isolated and can't do anything against Suskat? Nevo and Karnax just wrecking havoc into the lines of CHILLWAGON, but eventually the heavy once more is a saving grace for CHILLWAGON. Hempus with his minigun just pushing everyone away, and Torrid lift that push, and feels like that blind push from the Frenchies wasn't really the best option for them.
Yeah, as in the saving grace for these CHILLWAGON. Oh, and they're pushing into second now. Oh, and Olga's going for a back cap.
But he's
Very
soldier.
odd stuff going on.
There's no way he can do it. Can he get even a frag? Yes, he can onto Onzu. And Torrid doesn't even have the Uber. There's a sniper as well into the hands of Nevo. Can he get the frag onto Torrid? It looks like Torrid is aware of that sniper. But again, the waste. Nice time waste here for the Frenchies, because Müller is gonna have his Uber, so that's really well played. And CHILLWAGON, they're going in. Do they know? I don't think they thought they had Uber rad.
This is a good exchange.
Committed a lot of people and life into that trade, and it looks like it's gonna be slightly better for the Frenchies with the Olga still behind. He hasn't been cleaned up ever
and he
since.
gets another frag.
That's crazy. Olga, what a machine! Gets the frag onto Tura. Can he get Hempus as well? There's no way that he leaves.
This is Olga just taking blows when he needs to. Playing it very well actually. Doesn't get too greedy. Doesn't attempt to go for too many frags on too little health. As Pampus now gets picked off. The Frenchies are playing so playing TF2 right now actually. Just it didn't seem it because of all the backcap plays, but if you're not being punished for it, why stop?
Yeah, it looks like they're really playing in sync with each other, and this is really important in the SCADA games, especially when you play against someone, a team who's not really pretty like used to play with each other, which is probably what CHILLWAGON is right now. And a nice shot onto the head of Joe here from Nevo. Claiming a demo can completely slow down the push from CHILLWAGON, but we've seen them pushing again and again. Nevo is relentless, gets a frag onto Wonsu. He's just clicking on the heads like a
Olga's on Spy as well, some double off-class action. He's not in the spawn room, he's just straight out going out as Spy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Why would you ever have a Spy as well as a sniper? And you already get spotted from a random blind death. Oh, that's unlucky for Olga.
And Nevo's gonna die as well on the flank, so the double off pass not paying off here. And the bomb coming from Wonsu onto Mula, who had to use and almost got dropped because Scar went from behind. Exactly, and it was really close here for the French medic. And in the end, this is probably the best opportunity now for CHILLWAGON to push out that they ever had throughout this whole map. But whoa, look at him. He's hiding, he's going for the backup. There's no way it works another time. Karnax is there as well. They're not going for it. Karnax is going alone against 2 soldiers.
2 soldiers on last. Yeah. Karnax getting directed by Lindsay there at the end.
Uber as being used by Torre as well. There's a lot happening on every side of the battlefield.
They're losing players.
This is a bit hectic, and I think this is why CHILLWAGON is not really feeling comfortable, because there's so much happening everywhere that they don't really know what to focus on.
Sensory overload. They're getting attacked on all fronts.
And
ad for Mula now.
Yep.
So should see a last push soon. They're waiting for their last push to get there. Alien and Karnax rolling out. Should get some nice buffs. Perhaps spot a little. I don't see a gun. There should be a really clean last push in theory.
The only off class is a sniper in the hands of Hampus, but this isn't enough, and now the bomb is coming. Oh, an Alien, nice pipe onto Torret, gets the medic straight away, and now it's gonna be just a matter of time and health for the Frenchies. They make it around, not even bothering killing Hampus and Thorax, and clinical push here for the Frenchies.
I was actually a little bit greedy of Alien, or rather, perhaps maybe it was the uncoordination from Mula and Nevo. Nevo just ran the opposite way to where Alien bombed, so that could have went wrong. Luckily, Alien hitting his shots, managing to kill anything on him. So that's why that push went so well. That could have actually went very poorly if Alien didn't connect.
But Alien connected, and in the end, this is a 2-round lead now for the Frenchies, and the CHILLWAGON. This is gonna be more and more complicated to make it around. Double bomb coming onto Mula, but somehow Mula leaves. No, there's no way. He's so weak. There's just got a Hampus on him. Can Hampus get the frag? No, there's a health pack saving Mula, and now it's him and Karnax, and somehow Mula leaves. This is incredible. Torre being the most aggressive player of his team.
They could. Oh, what was killing them all? What?
There's no way.
He goes in with a flank play and gets 2 kills. Solo. The Frenchies weren't even looking on going in from the looks of it.
Look at Thorax, look at Thorax. He's not afraid of taking these one-on-ones. He's taking the one-on-one against Karnax. Can he force Mula? No. Nevo was there on the back of Thorax getting the frag, but that was so close, and the Italian scout was so close to make a clutch play that would have saved CHILLWAGON here.
Looks like I saw Warp's going for a play, but he's backing off as well. So looks like they're setting up for a second defense here, hopefully to buy some time for Torre to either build some Uber or perhaps get some sort of supported sacking. Can't be losing too many players on Snake second though. The spawn times will punish you. The enemy team will just get a 6v5 of Uber at last machine if you fail.
And this is gonna be really complicated now for CHILLWAGON, because they're losing 2-0 and they have a severe Uber disadvantage. Wonsu on the flank is gonna get clean by Karnax, and look at the Frenchies not even have to use their own Uber. There's no fork, no sack play coming from CHILLWAGON, and they're just giving up that second point. And if you're the Frenchies right now, you can be perfectly fine with just sacking over and over again, because
Torre's going Uber here.
Exactly, and now they're getting the force, they're getting the trade.
This is a bad push for the Frenchies.
Okay, well, the Duo dies, Karnax dies. This is not enough for the Frenchies. Maybe rushed things a little bit, didn't really pay attention of the situation. And look at Mula, almost caught off guard under, is alone. He's getting chased by Wonsu. Can he get protected by the rest of his teammate? Nice rocket! That was a vibe actually from Alien. Nice air shot here.
Even though he goes down, he gets his medal.
That's perfect. Perfect hit from the Frenchies. Managed to salvage a few shots. And they're going back in. Hampus didn't expect the blue wave to come back at him. And the garbage getting
has to go down
completely out of position here. An air shot, please. Oh, God, he gets it!
And this is why you put Olga on Soldier.
just have to ask for
lovely
it.
stuff.
This is all that you require to get an Ursha. Just ask for it and Olga will deliver. And it's gonna be a reverse situation.
Push top left.
Equal. The push is happening. Are they going for the force? Probably.
Not even a force. I think they're still getting so many free kills at the start of any of these engagements. See, ones who have already picked up before the Ubers come out, and Torre doesn't have yet. But they don't shoot Torre. What? This is so odd. They should be able to run out. They're getting even more frags during the Uber.
Oh,
the recommit has to be coming in.
Olga almost. They're recommitting. They have a lot of cap time, so this is why they're going in. And it looks like it's paying off. 2 soldiers for CHILLWAGON. Can they do it? It's only Warped against Karnax. Karnax is gonna be the hero, maybe, of that fight. No, he's getting juggled by Warped, and Hampus is there as well. But somehow Hampus doesn't go for the fight. Mulat doesn't heal, and Karnax could have been the hero here, but couldn't do anything against Karnax, Hampus, and Warped.
And now Olga's feeding as well. This is a chance for CHILLWAGON to do something. This is a clean reset here. They can easily go to mid off of this. Actually, perhaps not mid. At least reset on second or even leaders though.
Oh, but this is CHILLWAGON, Mak. We've seen them being carried away many times, so maybe they think they can go to mid, but that frag onto Hampus should slow them down. I hope that is gonna slow them down. They can't afford to push here and getting wiped onto that mid. So yeah, they're gonna happily and quietly sit on that second point, build their own Uber and see if the Frenchies, because the Frenchies, they're winning, but we've seen them trying to work on the tiniest ads ever. So maybe they're just not happy with a 2-0. Maybe they want more, so maybe they're gonna make a mistake and CHILLWAGON will be able to capitalize on that. We'll see what happens. But now, Mak, when you're CHILLWAGON, you're losing 2-0. It's 7 minutes 30. How do you break the aggression? How do you break the hold?
I have no clue. And it looks like they're just going to create dry push. I guess that's how they're opting to break it, or some sort of exchange play here. But this is not ending well for them, surely. Nevo is chasing deep with this. Gets piped down and scouting though. So that's a scout pick is definitely worth sacking off of. I'm not sure if it's worth pushing off of.
And One's in on the backline, trying to go in.
Warped is in. Warped has just done so much for his team there. But Mular's out cleanly. Good foresight from Mular to see that the situation is devolving to escape from kitchen there. But this should be a mid cap here.
Is it gonna be more? Look at Nevo playing heavy onto the spawn. He's just had a little shenanigan on the back, up his sleeves, and Duo is behind the enemy lines. Hasn't been spotted. I think he has. He's gonna take a 1-on-1 against Warped. He actually hasn't been spotted. This is why he wins it so easily. And now there's a heavy in Nevo on the spawn door. It looks like the Frenchies, they want to commit again. Olga is on his own now. He needs some help. Alien died as a demo. This is gonna be tricky. But Duo behind. He was caught, and somehow he gets the frag onto Torre. This is huge here from the French roamer.
Mular surfing away, dodging the air shot, but has to use in the end. But can't really complain to you. You're gonna end up cleaning up all these. Never mind, Storage trades with Olga. And they go to mid hit. They do have heal ad. I would consider it.
Yeah, they have the heal hat. They have
Nevo's
number ad as well.
Nevo is left spawn on Princess.
And Mulak is
behind
as well. So
I had no clue he was still behind. Maybe to mid with a heavy. This is gonna be nice to see.
Looks like CHILLWAGON have some problem at handling the people in their backlines, and Duo again just wreaked havoc and just won the fight for his team. So again, I wanna pin it on miscommunication from CHILLWAGON, because there's no way it happens so many times over and over again without it being a problem of calling.
Looks like they're trying to edge in here with the heavy. One's bombing in, but into a heavy, like, he gets 1 or 2 rockets damage, but just gonna get cleaned up in the end. I didn't see where he comes from. Warp's also just on the floor spamming them. It's not gonna end up well. He has no heals. It looks like they're being bullied out by the heavy, like all the way from choke. Like, that's not how you deal with it. Obviously, it can be hard to do with a heavy, especially as a new team. But that's just not how you deal with it. Bombing soldiers into the heavy.
And now it's gonna be an even Uber situation. Wonsu's on sniper is gonna snipe from the right hand side, trying to see if he can pick up Duo. Duo's going in with a high bomb. Oh, what an air shot!
What a headshot! Holy!
Crazy shot here from the Polish player, and probably enough now for CHILLWAGON to push out. And it's not like they have any other choice if they want to make it a comeback.
They're pushing into a heavy.
And Wonsu is still on sniper, and they're forcing the Uber.
But the force comes out. This is such a bad Uber. Torres holding the Uber here. He ends up forcing in the end to the heavy. He gets picked up by Onesie. They can't chase with the Uber. Mular's already out.
And they get Olga as well. And then a nice push out here from from
Karnax should be
CHILLWAGON,
down
mainly
too.
from the back of Wonzu, hitting shots on sniper make all the difference against
Oh,
Wanda as
oh,
well.
they're pushing
And
with
Duo
Wonzu.
on the flank. We've talked about Duo on the flank. He gets 2. Can he get 3? Probably can get 3 because nobody's contesting him. Now it's only Sorex, but he gets a frag. But the damage has been done by Duo, who claims
Wolf's gonna get
3
2K.
frags and probably just ruining the remaining chances of CHILLWAGON at this point.
It's just gonna kill all momentum. You can't. They've always been doing it for this entire map as well as the entirety of Gully Wash. Like, he's being so effective for his team actually from Roma. Looks like Nevo rather is being bullied out as well.
I'm expecting now CHILLWAGON to be just
Once he's still
pushing
popping heads on
all
sniper
the
as well.
time. There's no way CHILLWAGON doesn't push now. They know they have no other choice. It's 3 minutes and 30 seconds. They're 2 rounds down, and if they lose this, then it's gonna be the French team who's gonna make it back in Prem. So there's no other choice for CHILLWAGON but to push, and it looks like when this is the only way out, they don't do it.
Perhaps once he's feeling himself on sniper, he has been popping a lot of heads. Maybe it'll work out on Oh, but here comes a dry push from the Frenchies. One's punishing it already.
Oh, it's not a drive. They have
They
it.
get a pick on the demo.
Get the force onto turret maybe, yes, but 3 players
He's dropped
alive. I didn't really drop them.
Yeah,
They
he
were
didn't have it, obviously.
didn't have Uber,
Yeah.
and now it's a 3-on-2 in favor of the Frenchies, and Olga and Nevo, they want to get the frags for some reason. All they have to do is secure the cap.
Soros gets Olga here. This is actually this could work out for CHILLWAGON. They could end up converting this round
Can
quickly.
Sorex take it? It looks like he can. It looks like he can. Sorex with the help of garbage gets a frag onto Nevo, and not only
Mula
Mula
has
on
to go
Dras.
down here.
And Sorex is here. He's thirsty for blood. Can he get the
Everyone's
frag
coming to
onto
help
Mula?
him, and they're not eating the bait. I feel like you have to want to go for that in this situation. There's 2 minutes left, and Wanzu's still on sniper. Like, you're hitting your shots, but sniper isn't the fastest class in the game. You know.
No, it's not.
I don't see the game plan. Even if you're hitting all your shots, you need to get into a position to be able to hit them. Go with a nice little direct on Hempus there. And saw. This is looking very grim. Less than 2 minutes left.
Look at the Frenchies. They go. Oh,
Olga
the
with the
drop from Olga onto Torre with nice 2 rockets here. Jumped all around the corner, and Torre didn't see him because he was above him. And yes, this is the nail in the coffin for CHILLWAGON. The Frenchies are gonna probably roll straight to last. There's gonna be a heavy in the person of Empus, but there's no way he can fight this on his own. And look at them, they're just cheekily taking the frag before taking the cap. And yeah, the Frenchies securing the win here. 3-0. And yeah, we welcome the Frenchies back into the Premiership. They're winning the first round of the qualifiers, and they're gonna join the likes of Seven and Ascent into the Premiership, trying to fare against the powerhouses of TF2. And on the other hand, this is not over for CHILLWAGON. This map is, but I think I heard a pyro with a jetpack. Yes,
Classic
I
stuff
have.
coming out from Olga. You really do love to see it. And he's in! Once he jumped against the wall. Olga with some crazy strats coming out, but this is just garbage time. It's less than a minute left now. Both sides now it's over.
What's not over though are the chances of CHILLWAGON to make it into Prem. They will have 1 more game against Gun Squad, so they still have a chance. But after what we've seen tonight, Mac, I'm a bit less confident for them, because we've seen quite telling mistakes from them.
We were expecting a lot more from them, given the names on the roster. I think I'm speaking for you, but I think you would agree on that.
I would agree on that, Mac. You're totally right this time.
not partially right, totally.
The control
But
point is being contested.
it's just don't want to be too negative, but can't help but feel kind of disappointed. Expect a bit more from a team like this, but maybe they'll be able to iron it out in time for the next match. Who knows? Because there were points where they did some good stuff. You know, they got 2 rounds of Gully, but this map was just brutal. This map was like you know, it's far more clean.
Yeah.
Frenchie's completely just dominating it for you.
Yeah, because somehow the Frenchies, they have scored less rounds on Snake than on Gully, but it felt like it was way more in control for them.
Even if it was the same point
same round
difference as well.
difference. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, congrats to the Frenchies. They made it real. They're back into the Premiership, and we're gonna take a look at the logs to see who performed really well. And from what we've seen, I feel like he popped off on the first map, and I feel like once again he showed that he's a premium merc here, because look at him, just again going 31 for 12, doing really well. And it feels like we're watching this exact same logs, Mac.
I actually can't look at the logs right now because I spilled water all over my keyboard. I can't open the logs.
Oh no, the excitement.
Yeah.
Max so happy for the Frenchies to go back into Prem. They just spilled everything on his desk.
Saw Onesie popping some heads, are just water everywhere now. It's really unfortunate for me.
Mac is all wet, and from Wonsu's sniper play. But yeah, from what I've seen, it's like the two logs from the two maps are really similar. Wonsu again with a lot of death at the pocket, leading the death number with 28 as a pocket, and he played sniper a lot at the end, so that's not a lot. He played like 3 minutes or something, but when you die 28 times as a pocket, really something is not going in your way. While Garbage also had a troubled time here on this second map. So it was a bit hard for them.
I can't imagine Turret probably had similar death count to the last game as well, or at least more than Mula, right?
Surely. Yeah, he has 11 death against 4 for Mula. So yeah, I think from the logs, like the logs don't tell the full story, of course, but from what we can tell here, it's like there's a lot of problem in the combo from CHILLWAGON, which is like we've seen a lot of out of sync plays, and I feel like this is really the thing they want to focus on for the next game.
That's his Goon Squad, yeah.
Against Goon Squad.
And that's where it really matters, because there's no turning back at that point. You know, if they lose that map, they're doomed to play Div 1.
Yes, they've used their Joker. They don't have another shot. Now the next time will be now or never, but yeah, Frenchies again, really, really solid. It feels like they had it in control, and I feel like they Nevo had great numbers, so it feels like, of course, he helped them secure that win. But even apart from Nevo, it felt like the combo felt more solid.
The flank was crazy,
and Duo was crazy.
We didn't big him up at all, but he did a lot over both of those maps, though, from the roaming position.
How do you? So when a lot of flank plays happen, Mac, is it because the flank player is really good, or because the flank from the defending team is lacking, or how do you balance things?
I would say a bit of both. I think generally speaking, I do like proactive players who look for openings. So I feel like I can pay a lot of respect to Dwell and Karnax in that regard. But it's just pretty silly when they're never being punished for it. And I think the worst times were when they attempted to punish it but failed to do so. They would leave Warped on last, but he would just end up getting 2v1'd because someone else on the flank wouldn't do their job and would let a second party get in and just clean him up. So I wouldn't even blame Warp too much, you know? Obviously the roamer is responsible for a lot of it, but I feel like a lot of these flank plays were happening on the lasts. The stuff that happened on mids and seconds, probably Warp's fault, but the most damning stuff was the stuff on last, you know? These plays that would either win rounds on Gully Wash or on Snake, they bought so much time. Like, Mula would constantly have Uber ready for mid, ready for an exchange. It was game-winning, honestly. That's probably why they were winning the game.
That level of analysis from Mac, I just spilled water all over my keyboards. I can't take it. This is too much. And we welcome Olga from the Genaration Karnax, who won in 2 maps, bonjour. Clean maps. How do you dare speak French in this sacred shrine? But yeah, congrats. We're gonna go over the first map, but in a second. But from the outside, both me and Mac felt like you were not the favorite. You were more like the underdogs. How do you think you would? What was your position before going into the game? Do you think Torresium was better than you, or was it? What was the?
Well, I think I was happily surprised at where it worked out, because yeah, as you said, like I consider Turret's team as a really good team, but I think like they first underperformed a bit, and I think like I overestimated the Raf main call, like the fact that he's not here, so I had to main call on Pocket, and well, it went well. So I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, true. We mentioned that with Raf not being here and you playing Poke, it could have been like lead to some dysfunctionment in your team, but you took that role really well. I think both maps went kind of the same way, and it felt like you had a lot of things under control, and basically all you had to do was play out of the really aggressive play from Torrid's team, because we've seen them push out of situation where it was like barely an ad. So what was the plan? Did you see that, or did you just focus on the way you play?
Well, we were not playing the same way as we used to, honestly. For the fact that we had Nevo, which is a really aggressive pocket scout, I would say. So we had to play around him and be really aggressive, like take fights whenever we can. So we tried that, and yeah, basically they're a good team. They're really aggressive team. So I guess we got the upper end of the team fight.
Who would have thought? Because we would give you the guys the edge on the like team play side, but we thought that maybe DM was a bit better for CHILLWAGON, but in the end it didn't really happen. Mac, do you have any question for Olga?
I don't think so. Perhaps I'd just like to talk about how grateful, maybe a little bit disappointed in not seeing any of the crazy off classes.
Yeah.
A bit of a shame, but the banner play was nice. I thought you would have went shotgun. I've seen you go shotgun before on Pocket.
Yeah, I had panic attack at some point.
Oh, he did. He blasted someone with it on the last push. You're right.
Yeah, I was really disappointed because, like, yesterday I just saw the global whitelist changes. So my thought would be that Mentreds plus Market Garner would be godlike. So I tried that in Scream, but it didn't went out. So
Mentreds actually really interesting to see.
Yeah.
But I think other Prem teams are warned now that Olga is gonna try some crazy shenanigan on them, and me the first, I'm gonna be wary now. So now you're back in Prem. So let's talk about that a bit. What's the goal? We've seen Raf said that it was mainly about trying to stay within the division, like in the top 6 spots. Do you go along with that? Is there any special?
Yeah, basically that's it. But otherwise, we want really to first improve individually and also as a team. Because as I think many mentioned, Mula and Drew are, I think, still in my opinion, new players in Prom. And basically at eye level. So they have room to work on. And so once we worked out like every aspect of their individual plays, then we can work really on the team style. And then I truly think that we will be able, like maybe not this season, but maybe the next season to defeat like really good team. So
I think,
yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. I think tonight's a good sign though. I think I saw a lot of good stuff from Duo, obviously. It's a lot easier to see with his crazy flank plays, but Mula also kinda I gave him some amount of praise. He was constantly getting out. He had like such low deaths over both maps, 7 and 4 deaths respectively. Mula also played very strong, so that's a good sign, I guess.
That's a really good sign, indeed.
So a lot of hopes for Generation Karnax going into Prem. I think this is it. So do you have any shoutouts, Olga, for anyone?
Well, first shout out to you guys for casting. Shout out to the people who were watching. And also shout out to Raf, who was not there. Shout out to Nevo, obviously, for murking and carry. And yeah, I guess that's it.
So first casting experience. What's your closing words for you, Mac? Is there anyone you want to shout out?
Shout outs to my audio positional mic, really just messing stuff up for the first half. Shout outs to my glass of water being all over my keyboard.
Water.
Shout outs to Ombrack, he helped me out a bit. He gave me some tips before we got going. And mandatory shout outs to Dowie.
Oh no. Well, this was the first and last cast for Mac, because you're not allowed to shout out Dowie on TFTV while I'm here. So it was nice to have you here, but unfortunately you're not going to come back.
Time to go.
So this was first game of the season S33 of ETF2L. This was Genaration Karnax against CHILLWAGON. The Frenchies take a clean win 2-0 and gonna come back into Prem. There's gonna be another shot at Prem for CHILLWAGON. It's gonna be against Goon Squad sometime this week, so stay tuned to see what happens. A shout out to Peter who was doing the camera work for us tonight. Shout out to people who watched, and we'll see you next time. Have a good evening.